What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This one was suggested, oddly enough, it was like 3 comments in a row were suggesting to do this video. So I think you guys have been seeing the Mike James breakdown I did, the TJ Shorts breakdown, and then you guys were like, well, you got to break down Carsen Edwards. And I was like, I don't know a Carsen Edwards. And then I typed in his name, and then I realized, like, I do remember him. I do remember seeing this guy. I didn't realize he was getting buckets over in the EuroLeague like that. Like I said, I stopped watching the EuroLeague about a year and a half, 2 years ago, just because moving, traveling, and there's just so much basketball to get to. But he actually won the scoring league, or the EuroLeague scoring title this past season. So he's been getting buckets. I understand now why you guys asked me to break him down. He played at Purdue, and I believe he was also in the G League, and he was a top scorer in the G League for a year as well. He played a little bit in the NBA too, so he bounced around from NBA to G League. Now he's overseas getting buckets. So let's check him out. Oh, actually, I want to change it to where we can use our handy dandy pen. All right, here we go. Not much to break down there, or just be elite. One thing is, I hate how people don't shoot these shots because they're worried about their shooting percentage. Mainly in the NBA this happens. Nowhere else in the world do they hold on to the shot, because it's more about winning than it is your shooting percentage. You better be shooting that ball. And what I've been seeing is kids in high school not shooting it because they don't want to mess up their shooting percentage. What are we doing? Like, the NBA, it's the dumbest thing. And when you think about, like, Nikola Jokic probably and Peyton Pritchard probably shoot more of these than anyone else in the NBA, and it is not hurting their three-point percentage because they're probably shooting 20 a year. And with the amount they shoot overall, it's not hurting their shooting percentage. But also, if you don't make an all-star team because you missed 4 more three-pointers or 6 more three-pointers throughout the season, you probably just weren't making the all-star team anyways. I think it's the dumbest thing, and the NBA is actually looking at changing that rule to where last-second shots don't count against your percentage. It's stupid. It's I'll take a Stephen A. Smith word because that's the only one that fits here. It's asinine. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's just a shot. If you're worried about missing, like getting that 1 percentage point because you missed a shot, like I'm sorry. I just had to rant. Shoot the ball. If there's time, shoot the ball. Ooh. Hey, gang. You know I love me some pick and roll breakdowns. I mean, he just sprints out of it. Again, this looks like a pretty good pick and roll coverage right here. It's a blitz, so they're both going with the ball handler, and ideally, so I'll talk about the offense and the defense. Defensively, your job in a blitz as the big is to cut off this side of the court. Like, you cannot allow the point guard to get, or whoever's coming off of that blitz, you cannot allow them to turn the corner. Your job is to make him take a dribble backwards, or dribble back this way, or dribble back this way, up the court. He does a decent job of stepping out. You know, the tough part as a big is if you step out too far, he can split the screen. So it's not as easy as it sounds, but that's your goal, is to force him up the court. And this guy's job is to trap from behind. And the general rule is, in a blitz, this guy does not leave until the basketball leaves the hand of the person you're doubling. So you just double all the way to half court if you can. That's if they're in a blitz, which is basically a double team off the screen. Then it's up to the captain, the nail defender. This guy's technically 1 pass away if he lifts up, so he can't really do too much there. He needs to stay with his player. But these guys, you want to deny 1 pass away, and the captain needs to be over to take away this roll. So he would be guarding 2 players. He would be guarding the player in the corner and the roll. And let's see if I think that ends up happening, where this player gets stuck guarding 2. But then Carsen Edwards, your job as a point guard, if you see a blitz, don't pick it up like 98% of high school kids are going to do. If you blitz high school kids, they'll just pick the ball up. So everyone go blitz ball screens if you want to just win a high school championship. They'll just pick the ball up. Keep dribbling. If you can turn the corner, great, because now it's those 2 guys are behind the ball. You've got a 4-on-3. If you can turn the corner, great. But keep your dribble alive and get across to the top of the key, like we talk about. Get to the top of the key. And then from there, you should be able to throw it to all your options. You got this pass for a shot. You should be able to kick it back across the floor to this guy who's lifting up. Or you can hit the roller, or you can hit the corner as well. It just gives you all of your options if you sprint off of the screen. I know that was a lot to break down, but that's why you guys watch these. Now let's slow it down. So they're blitzing. Great job. He just keep your feet moving, get around the corner. Now this guy's recovering. And the big is now just like, damn, like it's on him. He didn't keep him on one side of the floor, but also when you're guarding elite players, like you can't just always guard the coverage correctly. So exactly what we talked about, he lifts up. So now this defender's put in a tough spot because this player's lifting up. You want to deny one pass away. And the same thing here, Like they're all just in these tough spots, plus the look off. And this is super underrated with the Mike James and the TJ Shorts and the Chris Paul video we watched. Like, it's not just making the right play and passing. It's also manipulating the second line of defense. So whoever is like the tag guy or the captain or the help or whoever's rotating over, you have to manipulate that person, and that's typically done with your eyes. So instead of just going, oh, that's the right pass, I'm throwing it, you might have to go, that's the right pass, so I'm going to do this and throw it. You have to use your eyes. You have to anticipate what that defender is seeing, and then you have to just get them out of position slightly. And then as a big, as we always talk about, if you can just catch and finish. And honestly, Tricky has been asking questions on some of our videos, which is really good. Let's look at what the post player does well on this play. The post player sets his screen. Remember how we talked about not rolling all the time? Remember how I talked about turning and sprinting? Every old school basketball coach is going to say, when you set a screen, you got to roll, open to the ball, hands up, never take your eyes off the ball, right? They're all going to say that. No, like he needs to get to this spot as quick as possible. And this guy's got to lift up as quick as possible. This guy's got to get to the wing. This guy's got to get to the corner. Like, that's their spacing. You got to get there as quick as possible. He can't throw this pass anyways. It's so as he's dealing with the trap, he's sprinting to the basket. Now that he's got his head around, offense is just going to react. Whatever you give us. So he's looked him off. He's hitting. Good, I'm going to finish. But if that defender stayed here, then he's just swinging it back to the top, and that's going to be an open three. Okay, I know that was a lot to break down, but you guys want to learn how to play out of pick and rolls. That's how you have to break it down. That was excellent. Hell of a pass. And was that fancy? What moves did Carsen Edwards use here? And this is why I would always talk about, don't work on crossover, crazy moves. Don't work on crazy moves if you want to be a point guard. Work on shooting full court shot. I'm kidding. Work on catching the ball, sprinting off of that screen to the top of the key, and you have a split second to make a decision. You've got 0.5 seconds right here to make a decision what you're going to do. Otherwise, you pass the ball to the next guy, you cut away from the basketball, and you wait for your next chance. Like, that's how basketball is played. Quick, boom, boom. That's fundamentally a highlight, but that is not going to make any Sports Center top 10s. Such good basketball. And you can see with the eyes there, looking to the wing. Tough. Wait, I think this guy's a YouTube channel as well. I'm pretty sure he has a YouTube channel. Am I wrong? I mean, a lot of these guys do now. Is that Shabazz Napier? Jeez. Man. Fenerbahce. That's tough. Got to get out there, Fenerbahce. Again, he didn't do any moves. That's a deep three, but that's just slightly further than NBA three. He's played in the NBA. So being able to get to that spot and just pull up, it's a superpower. And it was out of transition. Nice. Oops. All right. Another pick and roll. Good job. Surprise, surprise, sprinting off of it. This is a Spain pick and roll action. A lot of high school teams, college teams run this now, or some variation of it. But it's basically just like it's really tough to deal with, especially if you haven't seen it. You're going to see this 20 times a game in the Euro League. Like, this is just a very normal action. So your guards are going to get to the corners and create their spacing. Ball screen, and then this, it's typically a shooter, is going to set a back screen on the big, on the screener. So basically you're going to screen the screener action. So off the pick and roll, and then right here you have a couple decisions as a guard to make. You're either going to have the lob. So this defender, I don't know if you can see this. This defender right here has a split second to make some decisions. These guys have to decide how they're going to defend. The big has to stay with Carsen Edwards, or he's going to turn the corner and score, right? This guard is trying to get back because you don't want to switch your big on the Carsen Edwards. This guard wants to take away the alley-oop. You don't want to let this guy just dribble down the court or just run down the court and get a free dunk. But also, if this guy's a shooter and he's popping out, you don't want to give up an open three, okay? So that's why it makes this really tough. And then these guys are kind of in no man's land, right? Because his job is technically to be in this gap to help if Carson drives, but also not to give up one pass away to the shooter, because if he passes, then he can drop it into, but a lot of other things happen. And then this guy that's opposite the ball, is this Sergio Llull? He can't be all the way across. He can't be all the way across either, because there are guys that can make this pass. So it just puts the defense in a really tough, compromising position. And the way this all starts, another thing that we take for granted, let's watch the screens. This is all for like tricky as well, wanting to learn and watch. Look at this screen. Like, he gets contact, like he hits him. And now, again, we're not rolling to the basket. We're sprinting to our spot, right? Sprinting to a spot. And then this guy's popping. Let's see if he got contact on his screen. I don't think he did, because the big ran out. Yeah, there was no one for him to screen, so he just pops out now. Ooh. Same thing. Like, this guard, he just has to pick. And it might, this is where players just have a good intuition, right, for the next play to make. He could have thrown it here because he's open, but this guy's closing out. So you give him a closeout, but that's not the optimal play. But be able to make that pass between all those players, and also see that this player wasn't dropping back to take away the dunk. Whoa, what a hell of a pass. Hopefully they slow that one down. Yeah. Oh, eyes again. Yeah, it's eyes. He just did a subtle, like, look back, and this hook pass is very normal. So hook pass, or it's usually a turnaround pivot pass to the top. So the fact that he's like picked it up with one hand probably looks like he's about to throw that hook pass, and then he just drops it off. Man, that's so good. And when I'm breaking down games, typically I won't watch highlights. These are highlights, so just be aware, like, we're going to see something good every play. When I'm usually breaking down a player or games, I'll typically watch. I've spoken about this before. I'll just watch like the first 5 minutes and I'll break that down. So I don't want you guys going and watching highlights thinking that's how you should break things down, but this is just to get your feet wet a little bit, so we can start talking about a lot of good things. And then as I start breaking down plays where there are misses or things don't go the right way, you'll understand what it should look like. I mean, that's his superpower, just being able to shoot the ball, right? Nothing to see here. So TJ Shorts was getting open with his speed and his pull-up mid-range. So he was getting to the basket using his pull-up. Mike James passing and same thing, getting into his pull-up. Carsen Edwards, Mike James was threes, passing. Geez, Carsen Edwards has that deep, deep three. Oh, Gordon Herbert. This is our guy. This is the clinic that we broke down, the post-player clinic we broke down the other day. Oh, and he's dope too. Chima, that's one of my favorite YouTube channels. Check him out. I haven't watched this stuff in a while just because, again, I've been so into my own stuff, but go check him out. Chima Monique. I'm pretty sure he's Australian. That's where I met him. I met him in Australia. Hell of a shot, son. Hell of a shot. Man. Oh, yes. This is what I was hoping for. Getting to break down some of our one-on-one stuff. So he's got a little bit of a closeout, hang dribble, sees the angle, full speed left to the basket, wins the bump, and now the help comes over, right? So wins the bump, which would have been the highest percentage shot in basketball. So now this guy has to help make the next pass. Nice job. Isn't it great seeing how all of our one-on-one stuff goes directly? This is when it applies in games. It doesn't apply every single play. Notice that? So majority of the game is going to be built off of fundamental concepts, team concepts, being able to make open shots. That's majority of it. But then you get these opportunities for your one-on-one stuff as well. And that last part is typically where American players thrive and where we're the best. But if you don't have those other three things, to me, teams aren't going to take you because you can make tough shots or you can make the one-on-one play, because 75% of the game is going to be based off of fundamental team concepts and making open shots. So you have to have those, then you get to do this stuff. No way. Oh, I thought he was going to stay out there. Ooh. Again, shot clock winding down. Don't search out these shots, but 3 seconds left. Shot fake. Crossover step into his pull-up. Super elevation. Oh. I hated guarding guys like this because it's just like, he's there. I mean, that's good defense. Like, what am I supposed to do? Don't let him catch it, I guess. Man. And notice when he's taking these shots, he's took one in transition, but other than that, all of these shots have been basically shot clock winding down. So again, he's getting to this once the other stuff, once we didn't get a layup, once we didn't get the team play to work, once these other things happened, now my superpower, I can use it. Got the switch, elevate. Ooh, more pick and roll. This is Day. This is for you. This is what you should have done in your 2-on-2. So we got our drag screen in transition. So this is a hedge coverage. So it's not a blitz like we saw before where they stay with the ball handler. His job is just to step out and force the ball handler to take one dribble up. If you can get the ball handler to go one dribble up, it should give your guard enough time to fight through. Obviously, we've got a nail defender here. We got a captain defender here. So we've got help if we need it. But typically, you want to try and defend pick and rolls with just two players, because then you get into these spots where, again, the dominoes we talk about. But Carsen Edwards sprints to the top of the key, one dribble from here to the top of the key, and now he can make his read. So when we were watching our 2-on-2 game the other day and broke it down, you've got all day to make this read. Do I want to shoot it? Do I want to drive? Do I want to pass? What do I want to do? When you're playing high level basketball, you just have, it's just your decisions are like this. So whenever I'm watching those games and I see guys take forever to make a decision, I'm like, okay, you're not used to making quick decisions. You're not used to playing at that level. But what you'll realize is playing this way, it short circuits a lot of the doubt you have, it short circuits a lot of the bad habits you have, it short circuits so many things in your brain. Now you're just reacting. Now you're just playing off instinct, and this is where you should try to get to. Just make the right play and then live with it. So full speed to the top of the key, pull up. So next time, now the defense has to go, oh, okay, well, let's blitz now. Let's blitz on this next one, which the blitz will now open up one of his teammates for a dunk, as we just saw, an open three. So you want to put the defense in these tough positions of like, okay, he's got an answer for that. I mean, it's playing with a closeout. So this is where you want most of your scoring opportunities to come from, is playing out of a closeout. Everyone likes to bring the ball up and go ISO, whatever. That's going to be once a game. That's going to be when the quarter halftime is about to, the clock is about to run out. That's when that happens. This is how you want most of your scores to happen. So he's got a little bit of a closeout so he can catch and shoot. And this defender knows he can shoot, so he closes out. But now he just goes shot fake into his crossover step, straight line drive to the basket. And now he just gets to the highest percentage shot in basketball. You get to this decision box we always talk about. He still doesn't get all the way there, but he's trying. But he's got two options to pass, and just hits him with the pass fake. That's so good. Your footwork has to be very good to not travel there. Just a Euro step. And that footwork, that exact footwork, is on our Patreon. It's on our Patreon. Again, it's so funny. I've showed 6 different types of finishes and pickups that you need, and it's like the only 6 you need. But you can apply them in so many different areas. But once you understand the footwork and you've got the rhythm down, hopefully your body just reacts after that. Yeah, he knows. Unless someone just farted down there. Yeah, somebody definitely farted. Another pick and roll. Damn, I wish I would have showed it. We can't see what's happening, but it looks like drop coverage. And he just similar to Steph Curry, just like the gravity. People just have to watch where he's going the whole time. Hell of a pass. All right, brings the ball up, 4 seconds left. It's exactly what I was talking about, right? Everyone watches these plays. They watch these highlights, and they think like, "Ooh, I want to work on this." I mean, shot clock's winding down. But also, look, everyone else is involved, right? Look at the big setting a punch screen, which is basically just run up, set a back screen. He's setting a punch screen, so we're getting the switch. You're making them work. Like, other things are happening that's occupying them. He could have ran full speed and had a good look off of that punch screen, got the switch. But it's just kind of like time management. Once the last shot, the biggest thing at this level is like get the last shot, especially because they're up 49-37. So it's like even if we don't score, we're up 12. The last thing you want is to shoot an early shot, miss, they go down and hit a 3, and it's like we're only up 9 going into halftime. So going up 12 is way better than 9. But then also being able to hit that shot, and it's like, nope, we're up 15. So as long as you get the last shot, you're good. And that's an underrated skill. Pick and roll, sprint to the top of the key. And then make your decision. So it looks like he kind of had the pass. This guy was just way too slow to roll. So he couldn't really pass it. So this is like being able to make something out of nothing. Yeah, too slow on the roll. Nothing really open. No spacing over here on this side. Elevate, finish. Good spacing here. Again, he's playing off the ball to get this shot, but this is good spacing by his team. Good drive, like straight line drive. Tries to get to the basket. You stopped me. Good job. Great defense. Let's live to fight another day. Kicks it on to his teammate. Gets a little bit of a closeout because this guy was playing bad defense, was ball watching. Dominoes are falling. Spaces to the corner. Just good basketball. I mean, it's just good basketball, but I like breaking it down so you guys can. I feel like I notice these things, and a lot of people kind of just gloss over them. Shoots the gap, nice. This all starts, like I said, this is ball pressure. This is honestly just good defense here, and honestly, this is probably scouting report. So they probably know what Milan is wanting to run here. I mean, it's a minute 43 left in the game. They probably have seen this play, but because there's good ball pressure, gets him to pick the ball up, put it over his head, hand in the passing lane to just get to make it where it's not just a straight easy pass and then just shoot the gap. That's just good team defense. And you've got to become a guy that does this. Play good ball pressure and make good plays like this so that your stars can shine, so your defensive players, your other guys can shoot the gaps and things. Underrated skill. No way. Oh, I thought he was going to pull up. I mean, straight line drive, right? Straight line drive. Because he can shoot it, like, you have to play up on him. Straight line drive, gets inside the elbow. Highest percentage shot in basketball. Transition. Pull up. It's such a deadly weapon. I said that in the KD video, right? Like, that's a very real shot that I think if you're a shooter and you have the ball in your hands a lot in transition, you have to utilize this 3. It opens up more layups for you. It opens up more lanes for your teammates. You have to be able to take 1 to 2 of those a game. And also, he was the leading scorer. So of course in transition, they're always going to be looking for him. If you can keep them honest by hitting that shot, I mean, he had 2 guys on him. They weren't really on him, but they're looking for him. The next time down, you've got a 4-on-2 because you're taking 2 defenders just yourself. So it's tough to say. I don't want kids thinking they've got to be able to hit pull-up threes, but in transition. But if you're at a level where you're already, if you're the go-to guy on your team, I think that's the next thing. That's one of the next things you need to add. Confident, being able to shoot that pull-up three in transition. I mean, nothing to see here other than drive, win the bump, create some separation. Oh, we got a little pistols action. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a pistols action. So it's a handoff into a ball screen. It's like inverted pistols because this action here, but basically it's just a dribble handoff into a ball screen. A lot of teams run this. See this a lot in the WNBA. Actually, the Minnesota Lynx run it a ton. It's pick and roll. I mean, it's just pick and roll. It's just pick and roll. Like, learn how to play out of a pick and roll. It's very good, very fundamental, very nice. Same thing, exact same read. We'll talk about both those because they're the same. So if you go off a pick and roll and they trail, you want to turn the corner as quick as you can and put pressure on this defender. That's what gets this guy open. And then the same thing happens on the next dribble handoff pick and roll thing. So it's just another pick and roll. And we take for granted the fact that these guys are going over the screen. Anyone else that breaks this down is going to say, oh, you should have gone under. Well, we've seen Carsen Edwards shoot. And we've seen that if they go under, what does he do? He sprints to the top of the key and shoots a three-pointer. He punishes you immediately. So now that the scouting report is never let him sprint to the top of the key and shoot a three-pointer. So this guy's working his ass off, fighting for his life to not let Carsen Edwards get a three. That's why this opens up. Don't think pick and rolls are easy. Like, he's making it look easy. So he's fighting, and they're like, oh, shoot, he's sprinting to the top of the key again. He's about to shoot this three. Then he's like, well, I'll just drop it off. So if pick and rolls aren't opening up for you, if there's no options open, it's likely that you're just you're not punishing the defense. You're not punishing them for the decision they're picking. And again, didn't pick up the ball. He's something I've seen from him. He makes his pass. Typically it's with his right hand though, but he's making his pass while he still has his dribble. So he's dribbling, and he's making his pass from there. And that's something we work on with 2-ball dribbling. Dribble the ball and pass, get the ball back, take a bounce, pass. That's a really good drill for this because you want to be used to dribbling and picking it up with one hand and being able to make that. We call it a push pass. He's got all the variations of that. Another kick out. Oh, because it was a bad pass, and you do need to practice with bad passes, he couldn't just shoot it straight away. Yeah, so he couldn't shoot that, which gives the closeout, the guy, time to get there. So shot fake, exact same thing we saw earlier with his shot fake. Gets his hips past the defender, though, and cuts him off. Right? Instead of running around him. Remember how I talk about straight angles in our one-on-one stuff? He's even gone even more straight. He's even gone more in front of the defense where it's like you're beat. That's what I always say. If you give a straight line drive to an NBA player, it's just a dunk. It's because of that. If it's a straight line drive, like, they'll just get completely in front of you. Like, it makes it even hard to foul him. And then he fades. Nice. Thank you guys for recommending this one, by the way. This one's dope. Keeps me in the loop. And a lot of you are like, how do you know so much about basketball? And I don't. I didn't know who Carsen Edwards was, completely forgot about him. And then I go watch because you guys recommended him, and now I'm learning. So now this is going to go into the bank, and I'm like, yep, I know a little bit more about EuroLeague and Munich and Carsen Edwards. I didn't even know Shabazz Napier was on the same team. That's awesome. I didn't know, you just learn as you go. Sergio Llull, we got to see him playing against him. So I'm learning. This is how you learn. This is what you do. You just break these down, and then you remember it, and then you go break down another player. And so you just constantly keep learning. Okay, pick and roll. This is the one-on-one stuff, right? Pick and roll. uses that momentum. Again, this guy's fighting for his life right here. He's like, I cannot let him sprint over here and shoot a three. Because Carsen Edwards plays full speed, he's doing, man, these three guards we've broken down so far in the EuroLeague do everything that we talk about on this channel, and hopefully you guys can see how it, like, why it all matters. Because he's sprinted full speed off of all these pick and rolls, now he can change his pace and cross over and get into a shot. You can't just go lazily off of pick and rolls and expect that they will work. But because he's gone full speed, this guy's already running full speed. That rubber band is already pulled tight. Carsen Edwards has already done the work through his career and then building it up through this game, probably sprinting full speed off a pick and roll. So that rubber band is pulled tight. So now when he does this behind the back, like, that's where the crossover comes. Now he's got space. You can't just lazily come off a pick and roll and then cross someone into your shot. It doesn't work that way. That rubber band's got to be pulled tight. You got to be going full speed. They've got to be going full speed. That's when that momentum starts to play in your favor. It's our boy again, Chima. Oh, nice. And these are the actions we talk about that are like really worth, they kind of ran like an Iverson set without this guy coming up. So it's like a horns. It's tough to break all these plays down because I'm losing all the terminology the more I travel and the more different types of basketball I see. But this is it's like a horn set, but it was kind of like a 1-4 high. I haven't seen all their actions out of it, but it's just a ball screen into a pin down on the other side. So you've got the roller here. Yeah, that's just tough to guard. So you're kind of doing that Spain pick and roll action where you're putting one player having to guard two. So he's the nail defender, but he's actually like the captain defender. So he's having to step over and help because you can't leave Carsen Edwards. So this defender is having to guard the basket. His job is to guard the basket, but also his man is setting a screen. So he should be up helping on the screen so that Carsen Edwards can't roll. But then you've got this guy that set the pick over here rolling straight to the basket. So the way I would defend this, geez, this is a lot. And obviously I can pause the game and show it. This guy needs to be up the line. So he needs to be in the gap here. This guy, honestly, on Carsen Edwards way over there, like, you might want to go under the screen and force, is that Shabazz Napier? You want to force the long pass to the corner because at least you can close out to it. You don't want him catching it coming full speed to the ball. This guy's just going to have to guard the roller for a split second. Honestly, these two probably could have switched. There's a few things you could have done, but the good thing about EuroLeague and the reason I like it, you get to really see the team's strategies because they've probably done exactly what I drew up. They've probably done that defensively. They've probably tried all these coverages, and especially when you play against a guy like Carsen Edwards, like, he'll just have another answer. And usually the coaches will be like, oh, they did this last time. Let's go into this action and really burn them on that. And it's like, there's an answer for everything. So anyways, yeah. So we got two on the ball for a split second, trying to recover. He's late because this guy was late on the hedge. Honestly, it just came down to their pick and roll coverages not being perfect. And that's still like a decent contest. It's just, yeah, that's our guy from Greece, right? Yep, shot clock winding down. They went, and this is what happens when you do guard everything perfect. Again, this is why we need to watch more EuroLeague. This is why it sucks. This Fenerbahce again. Fenerbahce probably defended everything perfectly for that 23 or for that 15 seconds. They defended everything perfectly. Well done, guys. Here we are. We're all loaded up. All eyes on Carsen Edwards. Like, yep, let's make sure we watch this flare screen over here. Like, everyone did a really good job. Hand in the face. He's pulling up from 4 feet behind the three-point line. Shot clock winding down. Great job, guys. Bang. Like, that's when you're playing good players. That's just what happens. All right, transition. Yeah, that was a mismatch. That was always going to be something. You give him the shot. Oh, again, and if you get the switch, okay, drag him out. a lot of people will get this switch and still be lazy. Like they won't sprint off of this screen, which allows them to switch back. But right now, really good job rolling to the basket and taking a defender. Really good job sprinting out to half court to be like, that switch is a lot tougher, right? Like if he leaves, Carsen Edwards can just throw it. So now that switch is just like, now we can exploit it, get to the basket. So pick and rolls, what have we learned? Sprint off of them, both of you. The roller, sprint to the basket. The guy, the ball handler, sprint to the top of the key or sprint to space, and then everything opens up after that. This is just ISO and not fair. We'll watch one more play. Another ISO. This is the same thing TJ Shorts does, except this was from 3. Like when you're guarding someone who's quick, you're on an island, you can't give up a layup. And as soon as he sees his hips turn, you were asking in the TJ Shorts video, like, how does Carsen Edwards know that shot's going to be open? You never just know, but again, also shot clock winding down, you never just know, but the more you play, the more that you see these same habits and the more that you get comfortable with specific moves and you get a feel for it, right? Like he can tell the way that this defender is running, his momentum is going this direction. His momentum is going to the basket. So if Carsen Edwards can get on balance and pull up straight up, chances are this player isn't going to be able to recover and really contest that shot. See, he's still running backwards. Carsen Edwards is already into a shot. It's still a really good contest, but you just get a feel for it. Like if I'm going this fast and he's running this fast and I think I can pull up quicker than he can recover. That's still great defense. It's just better offense. All right, we'll stop there. This guy's too much. It's too much to break down. My brain is imploding. He's too good. Thank you guys for that suggestion. That was awesome. I'm glad to see that all of our concepts from our one-on-one stuff breaks down into our EuroLeague stuff, right? Like all of our EuroLeague stuff breaks down into our 2-on-2 and 3-on-3 stuff. Like basketball is a universal language. People like the league that they like, or they like American basketball better, or they like whatever it is. Basketball is basketball, and the fundamental concepts are the same across the world. Men's basketball, women's basketball, it's the same. The only difference is how much athleticism or your unique superpower can you put on top of that. You're never going to – there's very few players that don't have those fundamental concepts that just make it to the top levels, because there's very few just freak one-of-one athletes like that. So if you want to make it, you want to be successful, build the concepts, fundamentals first, and then whatever your unique gift or superpower is should be a bonus on top of that. Don't only rely on that to score and be successful. Anyways, thank you guys. Keep sending them through, and I'll see you all in the next one.